Well, hello and welcome. This is Chris, your friendly neighborhood acupuncturist with the Acupuncture and Herbal Medicine Clinic. I wanted to share with you another helpful tip, an all-natural tip that I think could be very helpful. Maybe people don't realize. It's fall time. The leaves in New England are changing color. It's actually, I think it's a beautiful time. We just had a great stretch of weather. Um, but one of the things that tends to happen, and I see in the clinic with my patients, is people complain of congestion and sinus congestion, stuffy nose, wake up in the morning, go through the whole process of blowing your nose and stuff. And why is that? Why does that tend to happen? For some, this could be a thing that happens all year round, and there's various reasons for that. But in the fall, what is happening is the air is drying out. And as it dries out, the tissue in the body, like inside the sinuses, and even into the bronchioles and into the lungs, the uh, the the surface is coated and moistened with mucus. It's natural, but this is usually a thin mucus that we don't really notice. When the air dries out, that starts to dry out that natural mucus layer. Now the tissue underneath starts to get irritated. Just like if your sinus got kind of like a little irritated and made you sneeze, and all of a sudden you got all this kind of mucus forming, okay? The body's trying to protect itself from invasion, if you will. That dryness is going to weaken that natural barrier, that natural thin mucus layer. It's going to dry it out, make the surface more sensitive, and it's going to react and try to moisten itself in a hyperactive way. And so then you get kind of like filled up, stuffy, congested, maybe even sneezing and having to blow your nose. This happens in the fall, oftentimes. I've experienced it myself. I used to have a lot of allergies when I was younger, and I've taken measures over the years to kind of protect against that. And actually, this idea of allergies is nothing more than your body just kind of having a hyper response to something that is irritating it, and you can protect yourself better if you know how to. So here's the tip. Basically, you got to moisten the air that you're breathing. And how you would do that is get a vaporizer or a humidifier, which is different from a dehumidifier, right? In the summer, maybe you have a house where you get a lot of dampness in the summer, especially in the basement. You would use a dehumidifier to take the moisture out of the air, and that would actually help. But this is a different situation. The air is drying out. We need to moisten the air and put water, through a vapor into the ear so that it's more soothing when we breathe. At night, it's worse in the morning, right? You wake up and you're all congested because at night when you're sleeping, you're breathing deep. You tend to be breathing deep. Sometimes maybe your mouth is open too, right? And all the surface internally is drying out and getting irritated. Okay, and maybe even it disturbs your sleep. So having a vaporizer or a humidifier in your house can definitely be helpful. And there's different types. There's a warm vapor type and a cooling mist, if you will. And you try them, see which one works best for you. Another thing that would be helpful is get one of these like weather stations, I think it's called. It's a device that will measure the temperature of the weather outside and the temperature inside the house. Okay, it'd be a little wall mounted kind of thing. I have one. It's a digital display. What's cool about it, not only does it help tell you what the weather's like, it also tells you, outside, but it also tells you what the temperature is inside the house, and also the level of humidity within the house. And when I see that it drops below 50%, then that tells me the air is drying out. And then I have to start thinking about what can I do to moisten the air so that I can sleep well at night and my sinuses don't get irritated. And I keep that natural barrier of thin mucus along the membranes internally. Okay, that natural barrier is actually an initial like kind of a defensive barrier that's part of your immune system. You know, the immune system is made up of a lot of different components. It's not just this one thing or this one function. And having that natural barrier intact and healthy is going to be important for your immune system. It's like a first line of defense. So you have that weather station in the house, you pay attention to the humidity, and when it starts getting low, you start putting some water vapor into the air with a humidifier or a vaporizer. You could also boil a pot of water on the stove, or if you have a wood stove, you just put a, like an iron cast pan or something with water on it and let it sit on there and fill it up once in a while and let that vapor kind of like mist into the air and moisten it, and that will help that it'll decrease and probably even eliminate waking up in the morning and feeling all congested if you do it well. All right, I hope this tip is helpful. Stay tuned for other tips. I like to try to get on as soon as I can when I have a chance and I'm not so busy with the clinic and all, and share some more natural health tips that you could take advantage of. Until next time, keep on the sunny side.